Hey guys, what's up? Nico again here. And in this special episode of 3D Printed Profits, I have with us the great Michael Crandall from Crashworks 3D. You guys, they're the ones who are responsible for all the cool mechanics, programming, all of that stuff for your Iron Man suits when, the head opens and closes, everything. You guys, everything. These guys are responsible for it. And so I just wanted to give a big shout out to them. Before we start, as always, make sure you guys join us in a 3D printing side hustle group in Facebook. The link for that is the description below. And make sure you guys stay till the very, very end where I'm going to give you your own product idea for your own 3D printing side business. All right. So without further ado, let's start the show. Michael, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, Nico.
Hey, man. Thanks for being on the show. So let's get started here, man. What's your background and how'd you get started in 3D printing?
So my background is I've been in computers as long as I can remember. I started programming when I was 12. I got into 3D printing about almost 4 years ago now. My family got me a Ender 3 as a birthday present, and I was hooked immediately.
How long ago was that?
That was what, 2018?
Okay.
Yeah, started out printing, useful stuff around the house, um, and it took off from there.
Sweet, man. So what do you do full time?
So full time, I actually manage teams of developers and their consulting teams in the federal space.
Gotcha. So you don't really actually 3D print stuff, right? What you do is you sell the electronics for guys like me who want to make, you know, the faceplates move, the sounds, the lights, the eyes, all of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, all the special effects you want to put into your props. That's what we do, and it's a combination of electronics and programming, which is really powerful in my
I
own
agree.
opinion.
So how'd you get into that? How'd you get started in that?
So years ago, I worked on a mobile project for a friend of mine where he wanted to program a Bluetooth module that would keep track of fitness information and send it over to a mobile device. And that's when I discovered Arduino. And I found a really easy programming language to pick up and program microcontrollers, turn lights on, move servos, receive inputs from switches. And I was hooked right away. That just being able to combine my experience of programming and bringing it into the physical world was such a cool experience.
Gotcha. So how'd you come up with that idea? You were just like, you know what? I'm gonna make this faceplate move. Ding. How did that go?
So actually, I blame Emily and Engineer and TikTok. So my daughter came to me one day and she showed me this TikTok video and she of a faceplate opening and closing, and it was Emily's TikTok. And she's like, "Dad, do you think you could do something like that?" And I was like, "Challenge accepted." I had no idea how hard it really was. And so that kind of inspired me on the idea. I started going online researching it, and then I found Frankly Built's Discord and started asking questions there and actually answering other people's questions there. And I connected with this guy Dropwire, who is my partner in Crashworks, and we got talking, and they had actually been pretty far down the road with the mechanical design and the articulation of the faceplate. What they were lacking was good programming behind it. So after several exchanges, we agreed that together collectively, we were going to really refine this process and make it a lot easier for people to motorize their faceplates. And so we did that. I did all the coding. If you go out on GitHub and you read the code, I have what are called code comments describing just about what every line of code does in there, so that other people that look at our code, they can learn from it, they can modify it.
It's open source.
Yeah, it's open source.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so, we did detailed instructions for it. Frank did some tutorials. I believe Darkwing Dad has done a couple of tutorials as well.
Both have been on the show.
Oh, awesome. Love those guys.
Yes. Great
So,
people.
yeah. Yeah. So we did that. And then we started talking about the wiring and the challenges there. And Dropwire is a veteran electrical engineer, one of the best that I've ever worked with, which is why I chose to partner with him. And maybe that's why he chose to partner with me as well, because I know a little bit about developing code. And so he designed a PCB board. I put it in my daughter's helmet. It worked really great. It was just made it super easy to do. No soldering, no mess, no fuss. Um, and we got to talking. And we're like, hey, do you think the community would like this? And so we reached out to some people in the community, and they loved the idea. And that's when we then really sat down and said, okay, let's look at this from a business perspective. Can we make this a viable business so that, yeah, we're doing the community a favor, but we don't want to be losing money at it. And so we sat down and we developed a profitable business model. We figured out how many boards we wanted to make that we wouldn't lose a ton of money. Anybody that's looked into producing electronics, it's a very expensive endeavor. Most companies, if they're going to make electronics for you, they want you to order in, hundreds of thousands of units. We know there's not a market for that. So, the other component of it, not to go off on another tangent, but you know, Dropwire is a perfectionist, and he wanted to make these boards himself, and really put some care into it. So all the boards are, handmade by Dropwire, using all of his equipment. And so, we built a handful of boards, put it up on eBay, and we got a few people interested, few people buying. Talks started on Discord, not just Frank's, a couple other Discords heard about us, and it just started slowly getting momentum.
So that's basically how it all started, right? You put it up on eBay and it got picked up, and then it just snowballed from there.
Yep.
So you don't really have 3D printed products. You're a complement to people who do 3D printing, which is an interesting take for this show, right? Like, you don't have to have 3D printed products. You can complement the 3D printed products and you can still make decent money on it.
Absolutely. And that's, again, there's plenty of people that do this way better than I could ever do. This is a hobby for me and I really enjoy it, but I can't really envision myself making a business out of 3D printing itself. But when you find a need and you can fill that need for people, you pretty much have a business right there. And we found a need. So not just hobbyists buy our boards, but people that actually 3D print and sell their Iron Man helmets on Etsy and whatnot will buy our products and put that into the helmets.
Right, because your products allow for their products to increase in value just by sheer fact that the faceplate is motorized and it moves.
Yeah, people love that. I did a special programming project for a friend who had a retiring detective in his police department, and he 3D printed a helmet and painted it, in the police colors. But he wanted the eyes to flash back and forth like a Mars bar on a police car, and so I programmed that, and that was really fun.
That's pretty cool, man. So
Yeah.
do you just do the motorized faceplates? I know the answer to this, but for people who are new to this,
Yeah.
do you just what else do you do aside from the motorized faceplates?
So that's the cool thing about these boards is I'll shamelessly put one up here. If you look at it, we had a whole lot of additional ports on the board.
That's not what I have at home.
No, you've got one of the elder versions. You still have a lot of expansion ports.
I do.
Here's one of the smaller, newer ones. And what that does is if you are interested in programming on your own, you want to pick up our code and extend it, you can actually add your own electronics to it. So like Frank did an entire suit. I think we sent you a kit for an entire suit.
Yes.
Um, Emily
Actually, it
has,
was Frank who told me to go with you guys.
yeah, awesome. Um, so Emily has a full suit. Emily actually now has a module in her helmet and in her suit. You know, people are starting to think a little more like, hey, I can put one here, one here. So that's, you know, we expand into the suit. Not only that, you can see behind me, I'm working on Spider-Man right now. Same principles. We just need some servos to move and some lights to light up. So your base of our board is, you know, switches, lights, servos, things like that. Last month, we did a special project for a guy out in California with Predator. So same board, but we loaded up Predator sound effects. We have a shoulder cannon with a gyroscope attached to it. And the gyroscope
Up,
goes
down,
in the
not just
helmet.
right. It
So
goes.
when, yep, yeah, I was gonna set it up in my group here
You can
today.
do that for a war machine.
Yep, and yeah, that's the next step is reusing the same code and the
Speaking of war
same
machine, there's a war machine helmet right behind you.
Yep, that's about as far as I've gotten with that project. But it's on the list. So yeah,
Sweet.
anything you can think of, if you need something lit up, if you need something to move, you know,
Sounds.
sounds, this board can do that. It's wide open.
So what have you guys done to try to increase sales? Have you put out ads, or are you guys solely relying on word of mouth? Because your word of mouth is pretty damn
Yeah,
powerful. I mean, you guys are the standard for motorizing and adding effects to any prop,
thank
any
you.
prop. Like your broken Mjolnir behind you. Please tell me those are my files.
They may or may not be. I
Ah,
think
you
they
suck.
are. I didn't know you had them. I'm
Ah,
sorry.
you suck. Anyway, so you guys are the standard, right? You guys are the gold standard for adding effects and so on and so forth to your stuff. Oh, what have you guys done to try to increase sales to grow the business?
Yeah, so growth has been primarily word of mouth. It's one of the most powerful marketing tools you have out there.
If
Uh,
not the most powerful.
yeah, if not the most powerful. You know, we have a social media presence. We'll post on social media. We have our own Facebook site to let people collaborate on our products. We haven't really spent much at all in advertising and marketing. I think you know, now we include a sticker in our kits. So that went into our marketing budget. And again, you know, our model is to remain profitable as we grow. So when, you know, sales hit a certain level and profitability is there, then our next step will be to invest a little more into advertising and marketing. And there's a company that I've worked with over the years called Madwire, who helps small businesses like ours uh, build their social media presence and do marketing and advertising.
Sweet, dude. So do you guys have your own website, or is it just all Etsy, eBay, and whatever platform?
It's yeah, it's the social media platforms, eBay, and through the Discords. You know, and again, part of what built up that strong word of mouth, why people talk about our boards. We also invest a lot in you know, really personalized customer support.
Yeah, I
We
remember having to talk to you. I was like, why does this guy want to talk to me? I just want to buy the board.
yeah,
But you guys, this is personal experience, right? Michael didn't pay me to say this. He may or may not. I'm not gonna tell you, but
I'll
no,
give you
he
your
didn't.
20 bucks later.
Yeah. So, when I bought these boards from Crashworks, you guys, I had to call Michael first before he shipped anything out. I was like, why does this guy want to talk to me? It's like I'm just buying a board, but whatever. Yeah, I'll talk to him. But it's because he wanted to personalize it. He wanted to make sure that I was getting a damn good product, and it was exactly the product that I needed. Not just because I was Nico from Nico Industries. He did it because he wanted to make sure it's what I needed. So you guys, top-notch customer service. I mean, hands down, up there with Tiny Machines, you guys. So that's
Yeah.
no shameless plug there, you guys. Fantastic
Yeah,
product,
appreciate that. Yeah,
fantastic
and
company for you guys.
it's important to us. It's, these kits, they aren't, 100% plug and play. We want to have a bit of do it yourself, learn a little bit about the electronics, learn a little bit about the programming. Hopefully you'll be inspired to learn more, but we don't want it to be such a frustrating experience that you quit. And that's why we care a lot about the customer service. We don't provide the servos or the power or the LEDs. And so there's some ins and outs because you're going to buy your own thing. And so, we want to, talk with you and help you through the experience and teach you a little bit about, those things along the way. Like, here's Ohm's law. Dropwire loves to teach people about Ohm's law.
Gotcha. So what's next for Crashworks, man? What is the next step to grow the business? Where are you guys headed with this? New products. Well, what's the future for you guys?
Yeah. So next steps, Spider-Man servo, as you can see here. We're working on something special for all our Star Wars fans. There's I was at a fan expo here in Denver last month, and there's a lot of Star Wars characters, stormtroopers, Kylo Ren, and stuff like that. And what I noticed was lacking is good voice modulation so that you can
Ooh,
sound really cool when you're wearing your helmet and have that amplified. We've got all the components. We just have to sell it. So that's
I need
next.
one like now.
Yeah, everybody needs one. Maybe we'll get one of the first early prototypes to you.
Yes.
Let's talk.
Mm.
Yeah, I've been working on a self-contained voice recognition module using artificial intelligence. I will tell you right now, it is hard AF without
Mike,
using
okay.
cloud.
After the show, we'll talk because I need that. Daddy's home, and then my
Everybody needs that.
entire all my computer systems turn on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Mike,
so
no, we need to talk
yeah,
after the show.
imagine just saying, "Hey Jarvis, open faceplate." Boom, open.
Okay, yo. Mm-hmm.
So that's a long
Yes.
running project. Not gonna lie, I've been working on that for over a year now. In my spare time, finding an electronic module, the quality that we're looking for is really hard, right? Crashworks, we want to keep a really high standard so that when you guys get our products, you're not frustrated because it doesn't work the way you expect it to.
Well, you have a tester right here. So much that I want to do. So much. Mike, thanks for being on the show, man.
Hey, thank you,
Dude, this is
Nico.
amazing. I love this. I love this. I love this. So that's it for the show. And I told everyone here that if you stay to the very, very end, I'll give you your own product idea for your own 3D printing side business. And today's product idea are custom medals. Like, like hey, you win, like a medal, right? So first of all, promise me you're not going to do participation trophies because those don't do anything. Okay. Custom medals, you guys. Like, how can you, if these things are resin printed, right? And if you print them with a part flexible and part, just regular resin so that it doesn't shatter when you drop it, then you would make these custom medals. And then, that's what you would do. The youth sports industry is massive. And what can you do if you delivered custom medals, not the ones you just buy at the store? All right. So that's your product idea for today. Again, Mike, thanks for being on the show, man. Really, really appreciate it. Tune again tomorrow. There's always going to be a show Monday through Friday. So join us again. Crashworks 3D. You guys grab your stuff. Great people. Later, Mike.